Oh people, today I got a banging video for you lot. Today I'm gonna be watching 6 terrifying cave moments caught on camera.
A YouTuber named Alex from the channel Cantrell Caving is known for exploring some of the most dangerous, narrow, and unpredictable cave systems in the world. But this time, his passion nearly cost him his life. On November 3rd, 2023, a group of 5 young men, including Alex and his close friend Jacob, set out to explore a cave they had never been in before. The plan was simple.
White people shit,
road,
man.
Reach the end.
White people shit.
Journey. But nothing ever goes exactly as planned underground. At first, everything seemed fine. Headlamps on, boots laced, spirits high. They moved deeper inside, unaware that the conditions had already changed, and fast.
Do it.
Not long into their descent, they found themselves battling rising water. The cave's narrow passages were partially flooded, making every step harder and far more dangerous. The air was heavy with moisture.
You see how you don't see no colored people there? Yeah. You know why? Because we're clever. We don't do none of this. Like, what's the need?
It took them deeper, both into the cave and into the unknown.
What the fuck? Oh, okay, I thought that was shark.
It just stays. I'm asking for a friend. It just stays with it.
How are you laughing?
They were still laughing, talking about reaching the end of the tunnel, but beneath the surface, tension was starting to build. Jacob, who had scouted part of the route ahead, tried to warn them. Some sections are completely underwater. You'll have to duck your head just to get through. There's no way to breathe in parts of it.
Edward, go right. Go right. Okay, gotcha.
Still, the group pushed forward, following the rope and hoping nothing would go wrong. But as they went deeper into the flooded tunnel, fear began to show on Alex's face. His confidence faded. His movements grew tense and frantic. The water level kept rising until it filled his ears, and the only way to breathe was to tilt his head straight up toward the ceiling. The deeper he crawled, the more unstable he became.
Get out!
Until suddenly, everything went wrong.
What you loving? What you loving? Oh. Oh, you're fine. Oh shit.
Oh my god! I'm coming out! Alright, we'll back it out.
One of Alex's friends panicked.
Oh.
Struggling to breathe, he grabbed onto Alex in desperation, nearly dragging them both underwater. Cold, water, darkness,
Never ever chat to him
claustrophobia.
ever again.
In a cave,
He nearly got you killed.
panic is your worst enemy. Despite the chaos, they somehow
I mean,
managed
if you,
to keep their
if you're doing this right, you're gonna make sure that you don't panic.
of water. Inch by inch, they pulled themselves back toward the light. By the time they reached an open space, both Alex and his friend were scraped, bruised, and completely exhausted. It could have ended very differently. They were lucky to survive.
Stuck in a
This
tight
man was
gap.
exploring a cave when he reached a
Oh, I know him.
dangerously narrow passage.
I've seen him on
Determined
TikTok,
to
I
push
think.
forward, he squeezed himself into the tight gap and nearly became stuck. The video was uploaded to YouTube on January 10th, 2022, under the title "Smothered in a Claustrophobic Cave."
Amazing.
The man behind the channel
Exactly what you want.
Hikes has posted dozens of similar videos where he successfully escapes caves after long and risky explorations. But in this video, things look far more tense.
But so far I haven't felt like that squeeze. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take the light with me, is the problem.
Why are you
Superman style,
going in,
I can
man?
certainly get through, but then my clothes
Why?
are gonna bunch up.
Why?
And it'll look cool
Why?
on camera, but
Why?
very uncomfortable bunching clothes up and backing up at the same time. So one of the nice things about these is you can use your feet for leverage, and you can't see that, but I take my feet and I pinch it up against the ceiling, and then I use that to leverage myself backwards. So I'm leveraging myself through here. And I fit okay. It didn't look like I was gonna, but I'm pretty much I just have a hard time leveraging myself to move myself over this knuckle.
The fact that he's alone,
But
no one's
it's gonna
there.
be-
Anything can go
gonna
wrong,
be a
and
little
no one's there.
lossy
You're
here.
just
For a
gonna
while,
die.
he keeps trying to push deeper into the cave, but eventually realizes he's almost completely trapped.
Trying to give you a decent view of what's going on in my little gumdrop's life here.
Where did they even find these places?
I'll
Where?
bring you closer. There we go. So it's all about leverage, and I don't know where my feet are here. But
What do you mean you don't know where your
I'm
feet are?
working my way through here as I can. I can't turn and see. You see, this is the problem with the clothes bunching up. My knee pad's caught. Okay.
At that moment, he decides not to risk it any further and begins carefully backing out the way he came. Fortunately, he manages to escape without any injuries.
Lost in Petty John
This story
Cave.
comes from the YouTube channel Action Adventure Twins, run by two brothers, James and Edward. Since early 2020, they've been exploring dangerous and extremely tight cave systems, documenting their underground adventures. But in March 2021, one of their expeditions brought them terrifyingly close to death. They decided to explore the well-known Petty John Cave in Georgia. By that time, they had already visited several sections of this sprawling maze-like cave system, even discovering an underground waterfall during one of their previous trips. They felt confident enough to take on the challenges of this underground labyrinth. However, this time, their goal was one of the most difficult
that seems
sections
okay.
of the cave, appropriately named the Nervous Breakdown.
This one's tight.
We are not meant to do this.
A title that perfectly describes the mental state of anyone
We are not built for this. We're not built for this. When are we gonna understand?
through it. The
I feel
beginning
like-
of the trip went smoothly. The brothers squeezed through a
feel like
narrow
these
entrance
type of
and
videos
reached the first
piss
open
me
chamber of
off.
the cave. But
Piss me
soon,
off.
the passages began to narrow again, forcing them to crawl through tighter and tighter spaces. After about 25 minutes of crawling, they faced their first serious obstacle. A muddy chamber with a deep, narrow pit in the middle that had to be carefully skirted along the edge. One wrong move would mean falling into a tight shaft with almost zero chance of climbing back out. The slippery walls and lack of solid footing would make it nearly impossible to pull someone out. After safely passing this dangerous area, they finally reached the entrance to the infamous Nervous Breakdown. To their frustration, part of the surrounding area had collapsed, making it much harder to find a safe route forward. Rocks were scattered everywhere, narrow drops surrounded them, and pitch-black darkness filled the space. After a long search, Edward eventually located an entrance and decided to go down, leaving his brother above as a backup in case something went wrong. He had no idea that this decision would become one of the biggest mistakes of his life. After descending a bit deeper, Edward tried to contact his brother, but there was no response.
I found a rope. I don't hear James anymore.
James might be dead.
He suddenly found himself in a nightmare scenario, lost in an unknown part of the cave with no way to communicate. At first, he tried to stay calm and continued moving, still hoping he would meet James somewhere ahead. But after 30 minutes of searching and calling out with no answer, the reality of the situation began to sink in. He knew that panic was the worst possible reaction, but anxiety was slowly taking over.
There you go.
After
We're
countless
not built for
failed
this.
attempts to locate his brother, Edward decided to retrace his steps, only to realize how difficult that would be.
James! James!
I reckon the phone won't work now as well, innit? You can't even ring anyone. You should have a radio.
It's been like 30 minutes since I last saw him.
Radio.
No,
Have a radio.
I tried to go back to the last place I saw him. And
If you're gonna do dumb shit like this, how about keep a radio with you? Or will a radio work in a cave? I don't.
everything just looks the same.
It's just a jumbo maze.
Every direction looked exactly the same in the dim light of his headlamp. Narrow tunnels and uneven rock walls offered no landmarks to help him remember where he had come from. With every step, the situation became more desperate. A single wrong choice could leave him wedged in a passage too tight to escape. Or worse, he could fall into a hidden fissure.
Hidden
Even
what?
without physical injury, it would be easy to wander in circles until exhaustion took over. The recording, which began with excitement as he entered the nervous breakdown, could have ended as a tragic documentation of his final moments. After what felt like endless wandering in circles, Edward finally spotted a small but familiar detail, a piece of marker tape he had noticed earlier on his way down. Following it, he was finally able to find his way back.
Well, James.
Oh. You're over here? Oh. Dude. This place is a maze, man.
Get out.
Oh, hey, I see your light. Dude.
Get out.
I thought we were never gonna see each other. Dude, I know. Oh.
After reuniting, the brothers stayed together for the rest of the expedition and eventually made it safely out of the cave without serious injuries. This experience didn't stop them from exploring caves. They continue to upload videos to their YouTube channel, but now they do so with far more caution and much better preparation.
Trapped in
The
rising
following
water.
story took place in January 2014, when a group of cave explorers set out to conquer
God.
Lost John's Cave in Lancashire, England. This impressive cave system stretches for about 3 miles, with known depths reaching around 700 feet. Most of the team had years of caving experience behind them, and, like many seasoned explorers, they were confident in their abilities. They carefully prepared for the expedition, studying maps, planning their route, and packing the necessary gear. But in the world of caving, there is a brutal truth. When something goes wrong, no
It goes
amount of
wrong.
planning can guarantee safety. Even the most experienced explorers can find
Oh, yeah.
themselves in life-threatening situations. That is exactly what happened to one member of the group, Bob Johnson. At first, the expedition went smoothly. The team moved deeper into the cave, using their equipment to overcome each obstacle. But everything changed when they reached a section known as the Tube, an extremely narrow passage that required crawling forward on their stomachs. To make matters worse, part of the passage was filled with water, making visibility and breathing even more difficult. Despite the dangerous conditions, the group decided to continue. The thinnest member went first and managed to squeeze through. Bob Johnson went next, and he was far less fortunate. At first he made steady progress through the tube, but soon he began to struggle, even in the slightly wider sections.
Oh.
Somehow he reached the narrowest part of the passage, and that's where his luck ran out.
No one told you go in there. This is the funny thing. No one told you to go there.
He became completely wedged from the waist down, and every attempt to free himself only made things worse. Being stuck in such a tight space is already horrifying. The feeling of solid rock squeezing your body, the walls closing in, you can't move, you can barely breathe, and panic begins to creep in. For Bob, the nightmare was just beginning. On top of being trapped, he now had to face a far more terrifying threat: rising water. Water makes any caving trip infinitely more dangerous. In a dry cave, even if you get stuck, at least you have time to think, time to plan. But when water starts rising, the situation becomes deadly within minutes. Imagine freezing water slowly climbing up your body while you are trapped in solid rock, unable to move. The terror is indescribable.
That again, no one told
Bob
you
knew he
go
had only
there.
a short time before drowning became a real possibility, and he fought desperately to free himself. But the water soaked through his clothing, making him heavier, and his escape attempts even more hopeless. Just when the situation seemed completely hopeless, one of the team members had an idea. The idea that would ultimately save Bob's life.
Yeah, it looks tight. Tell me, I get it. Pull it!
Instead of trying to push him forward, the team members behind him began carefully pulling him back the way he came, and it worked. Bob was finally freed, though his ordeal was far from over. Later, he shared in the comments that he and the 2 teammates who rescued him had to crawl for another 3 hours to escape the cave through an alternative route. This incident left such a deep psychological scar that even today, Bob says he can't watch the footage from that day without experiencing severe anxiety.
Unexplained sound and
This
tunnel.
unsettling video was filmed by Jacob, an experienced explorer obsessed with uncovering the secrets of abandoned mines. For nearly 20 years, he had descended into forgotten tunnels, documenting his journeys and sharing the hidden history of these places
white
with
people-
his viewers.
was
But this
one
time
thing I
was different.
realized.
This
Yeah,
time he
all
encountered
white
something
people.
he would never forget. On the cold, rainy evening of December 5th, 2017, Jacob drove down a dark, deserted road toward another abandoned mine, unaware
Why?
of what awaited him underground.
Just go home, man. Just go home. A normal person would just go home. The forest is slowly overtaking the old.
Okay, that's the portal to the wall deck mine. I'm inside. The wind has kind of died down a little bit and it's not raining, so I managed to stay dry. Of course, I'm inside this little alcove kind of, but anyway, you come down this little incline path and then big boulders here you have to climb over, and then the tunnel's right behind me this way. So let's check it out.
Come along with me as I
Let's get in
explore the
here.
wall deck.
At
mine.
first, everything seemed normal, almost calm, but the deeper he ventured, the stronger a strange feeling of unease grew inside him as he passed beneath rotting wooden beams, barely holding back the crushing weight of the earth. After more than 15 minutes of walking, something strange appeared on camera.
We're going to take this branching tunnel that we skipped on the way in.
Do you see the white light, Peter?
I'm assuming that X means a dead end or
Yeah.
somebody died.
The walk back? No.
A faint flash of light deep in the tunnel, like a distant flashlight beam. Though Jacob didn't notice it at the time, moments later, disturbing sounds began to echo through the tunnel.
Oh god.
Soft, whisper-like noises
Oh god.
coming
Imagine
from
that.
somewhere just out of sight.
Do you hear that?
Wait, Imaginating. What a name.
Sounds
I
like,
mean, what a word.
What is that wind? Can you? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera.
Why are you going towards it?
Do you hear that? It stopped. Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy.
Oh.
Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow.
Oh my
Heard some
god.
weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here and
Run!
head back out to the portal. That was weird. I think I keep hearing something. That was strange. I hear the air blowing here.
Oh god.
Wow.
A jump scare right now.
I'm getting out of here and
Would make me
you can really
scared.
hear that airflow. I'm getting out of here and heading home.
Uneasy, Jacob turned back toward the entrance, but on his way out, he noticed another tunnel he had missed before, and cautiously decided to investigate.
Looking down the tunnel here.
Why? Why? What the? Is that a person? Oh no.
I
Wait.
don't know why that one chain is swinging back there. Don't know if you can see that in the video or not.
Oh no, I can't watch this.
Inside, steel chains hung from the ceiling, ordinary at first glance, until he saw one of them slowly swaying back and forth, as if someone had just touched it. That was enough for Jacob. Realizing he was not alone, he immediately left the mine and never looked back. To this day, he still has no explanation for what happened in that tunnel. It remains an unsolved mystery.
Underground with spiders. Oh,
This
you taking the
unsettling
piss,
30-minute
bro.
video was filmed by a man named Daniel, who entered a cave with 2 of his friends despite having no proper caving experience or
Oh.
equipment. Only a
Amazing.
few minutes after going underground, they got
Amazing.
lost, as anyone would expect. While searching for a way out, Daniel discovered a small chamber crawling with massive spiders.
Oh! I'm not scared of spiders, but there's a shitload of them.
Get out.
Okay, spiders, don't touch me and I won't touch you.
And to make things even worse, one of his friends nearly became stuck between the cave walls. At first, the group tried to stay calm and act as if everything was under control. But as the video goes on, the tension rises and panic slowly begins to take over. Fortunately, after a terrifying struggle in the darkness, all 3 of them eventually managed to find their way out unharmed.
I would never, ever, ever, ever in my entire life do this.